Do you ever feel like procrastination is stealing your income? Like you know exactly what you need to do, but somehow you just can't bring yourself to get started? You're not alone. But today I'm going to show you the Stoic secret that not only crushes procrastination, but actually multiplies your earnings. I'll share the hidden tactic practiced by history's greatest Stoics, from Marcus Aurelius to Seneca, that modern high achievers swear by to stay productive and profitable. Stick around, because once you understand this method, your approach to productivity and your income will never be the same. First, let's quickly decode why procrastination happens in the first place. You might think it's laziness or poor discipline, but the truth is far more surprising. Procrastination isn't about avoiding work. It's about avoiding uncomfortable feelings. The Stoics knew this centuries ago. Think about the last task you avoided, maybe sending that important email, pitching your new idea, or finally launching your business. You're not avoiding the task, you're avoiding the fear of failure, rejection, or overwhelm that comes with it. Here's where the Stoics flipped the script, and why their approach to this is still revolutionary today. Seneca said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." He understood that your brain magnifies discomfort far beyond reality. So how do Stoics counter this? They use a powerful psychological trick to short-circuit fear and anxiety. I'll reveal exactly how in just a moment. But first, imagine how different your life could look if you stopped procrastinating completely. Picture effortlessly completing tasks that boost your income. No stress, no delays. Sounds impossible? It's entirely doable, and the answer lies in Stoicism's most underappreciated technique. The Stoics called it premeditatio malorum, which translates to the premeditation of evils. Before you think this sounds dark or depressing, stay with me. This practice involves vividly imagining worst-case scenarios for tasks you've been putting off. Sounds counterintuitive, right? But here's the twist. This practice doesn't discourage action. It actually removes the anxiety around the task by making you realize the worst-case scenario isn't as terrifying as your mind makes it out to be. Consider an example. Imagine you're procrastinating on launching your new side hustle. The Stoic method is this. You consciously imagine launching it and failing spectacularly. Feel the temporary sting of rejection, picture people ignoring your product, and realize that's it. That's the worst that could happen. Once you actually confront it mentally, you realize you can handle it. Suddenly, the task doesn't feel intimidating anymore. You dismantle procrastination at its source. But here's something even more fascinating. This isn't just theory. Billionaires, top executives, and elite performers quietly practice this Stoic strategy to consistently produce results. I'll explain exactly how some of today's most successful entrepreneurs are secretly using this method to explode their productivity and profits in a moment. And once you understand how simple it is, you'll wonder why everyone doesn't use it. So now you know procrastination isn't your fault, and you know the secret Stoic approach that's changing lives right now. But there's still one critical step missing. How exactly do you implement this powerful mental shift in your daily life, practically and easily? I'm Saul, and I'll break down exactly how to do this in just 3 simple steps. Each one is quick, effective, and designed specifically to make procrastination obsolete fast. First, identify exactly what you're avoiding. Write it down in clear terms. Maybe it's reaching out to potential clients or investors. Maybe it's finally posting your content online or approaching someone for a critical meeting. Name it directly. Next, vividly imagine the worst-case scenario as Seneca recommended. go through every uncomfortable detail. The Stoics didn't shy away from discomfort. They leaned into it, knowing it held the keys to freedom and success. And the third step is crucial. But before we dive into that, you need to understand something else critical about procrastination. It never actually goes away by itself. It only gets worse with delay. Yet once you apply this final step consistently, procrastination won't just decrease. It'll disappear entirely. In fact, this last Stoic technique is exactly how legendary investors and entrepreneurs like Warren Buffett and Tim Ferriss keep their productivity sky high and their earnings multiplying year after year. If it worked for them, imagine what it can do for you. Ready for the final step that will tie everything together? The final step to crush procrastination for good is what the Stoics called voluntary discomfort. This doesn't mean punishing yourself or living a tough life. Far from it. Voluntary discomfort is simply practicing small, intentional actions that slightly push you out of your comfort zone, preparing your mind to take action quickly, confidently, and without hesitation. Think about it. Procrastination is often about avoiding discomfort, right? So if you intentionally expose yourself to small discomforts daily, your tolerance grows dramatically. The things you used to procrastinate on suddenly seem easy. Warren Buffett practices a modern version of this every single day by methodically doing tasks he finds slightly tedious or uncomfortable first thing in the morning, because he knows it conditions his mind for bigger successes later in the day. Now here's how you can implement this immediately. Start with something simple, like a 2-minute cold shower, sending a message you've been hesitating on, or even waking up just 15 minutes earlier. It doesn't need to be huge. What matters is that you're intentionally stepping into mild discomfort. And here's the magic. Over time, you'll not only find procrastination becoming rare, but you'll also notice your productivity skyrocketing. Because your brain has learned that discomfort isn't something to fear. It's something you actively embrace and leverage to multiply your earnings. But how exactly does this simple Stoic practice translate directly into more money? It comes down to a basic economic truth. When you consistently complete high-value tasks without delay, your productivity multiplies exponentially. Whether you're an entrepreneur, freelancer, or climbing the corporate ladder, becoming someone who acts swiftly and decisively is a guaranteed way to stand out from the crowd. In fact, studies consistently show that the most successful people in any industry share a powerful trait. They take rapid, decisive action, even when it's uncomfortable. And guess what? The Stoics taught exactly how to cultivate that trait thousands of years ago. Let's make this crystal clear with a quick real-world example. Imagine you're running your business. You consistently delay critical activities, like calling potential clients or investors because they're uncomfortable. Using the Stoic technique we've discussed, you now begin your day with voluntary discomfort, making just one quick call first thing every morning. Initially it's tough, but soon it becomes second nature. Within weeks, you're confidently reaching out to higher value prospects, effortlessly multiplying your income opportunities. All because you followed a simple Stoic practice. And it's not just about immediate tasks. This habit compounds. As you regularly practice small, voluntary discomforts, your brain naturally starts craving bigger challenges, because you know that's where the rewards are highest. This creates an unstoppable momentum, where each small discomfort fuels greater confidence, action, and ultimately significant income growth. But here's the twist. While most people wait until they feel motivated, Stoicism flips this completely upside down. Stoics teach that action comes first and motivation follows. It's precisely because you're taking these actions, no matter how small, that motivation shows up. Imagine the advantage you have once this principle truly clicks. Here's one final powerful insight. Stoicism teaches that your highest leverage comes from focusing only on what you control. And the most crucial thing you always control, your actions right now. The choice to act without delay, no matter how uncomfortable it feels, is entirely yours. And it's your greatest competitive advantage. So ask yourself this simple question. What uncomfortable action have you been avoiding lately that could immediately impact your income? Now imagine tackling that head-on confidently today. Because the secret Stoics and today's billionaires share is simple yet profound. Discomfort isn't a barrier to your goals, it's your stepping stone. Remember, every successful entrepreneur, from Warren Buffett to Tim Ferriss, discovered this ancient Stoic practice and harnessed it to transform their productivity and income. The question is, will you join them? Make today the day you beat procrastination, master discomfort, and unleash your full earning potential. The results may genuinely astonish you.